Good afternoon, everyone, to the only meeting this week, Wednesday afternoon work session of the BOCC. What we have on agenda today, we do have an executive session later, but right off the bat, administration building hours. I don't know, do you want to run with that one or? Okay. We're talking about going to a 4-day, 10-hour work week.
Good afternoon, Deborah Gardner, County Treasurer. Last week, I was invited to a discussion with Carolyn Fundingsland, our auditor, and Kelly and Rick. And we were talking about the building being closed on Fridays since everyone else is closed except for the auditor and the treasurer. So we were just discussing why are we still open? Do we need to be open? And those sorts of questions came up. Well, one thing is the treasurer's office is the treasurer for all of our junior taxing districts. And the excise tax that has to be processed before recording is done in the auditor's office. So our two offices kind of go hand in hand with that. And one of us can't close without the other. And we've also both always felt like we needed to be there for the recordings to be processed. And if the building did close on Fridays to the public for the other reasons that came up, savings with, with the other services that are happening, the security and the utilities and whatnot. We would still need to have some staff to be able to process the excise. The title companies all submit their excise and their recordings electronically. So we could still do that. We would still have someone doing in the treasurer's office, our banking. We balance our bank accounts every day. We're redeeming our warrants. If there's any fraud, we can stop that at the bank if we do it, get it done by a certain time. So there's certain things that we would still need employees in our office working to process those types of things. And it was just the discussion would it be beneficial to close the building? And the other part of that was there are when the public's coming in for something with our office and we need to send them over to building and planning or the assessor, or some other department in the building that's closed. That gets a little frustrating because we have some offices open and some that are not. And I seen that Carolyn just hopped on there. So if she has anything else to add to that.
I think, Carolyn, you want to add anything?
Sorry, I only caught part of what Deborah said, but just wanted to say, the idea was brought to us and like Deborah said, we can't close all functions, but we can make it work. It's a nice perk to offer employees so long as we aren't cutting services to the public. And I think that our online transactions cover that service to the public.
It sounded like from the meeting last week that both areas could make it work. They'd do schedules and make that work out for it. And we do have a little bit of issues with people coming in for one, and other offices were open at different times depending on who you got to see, which can be a little frustrating. So as I say about most things, I'm willing to try. I think it can work, but we're here for other opinions too.
I think the thing I haven't heard is we exist because of the public. So I have no idea, although I suspect that the attendance on Friday from the public is quite lean. But I don't know how important that is. I know that I would be, I would have a metric of some kind uh, wherein I would say after a 6-month trial, because I think it'll take the public about that long to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Maybe actually a year because of Deborah doesn't see people except every half year or so.
No, we get customers all year.
I know, but the public in general, if I look at 110,000 people, you will see 200 or 300 of them frequently, and you'll see several thousand of them that probably 2 times a year, right?
Yes, I mean, it definitely, most of the people would be coming in to pay their property taxes, twice a year. But yes, there are,
So I would have enjoyed hearing some of the numbers saying, Deborah's office saying, we only get 5 people that come in on Friday and something like that. And I don't know about auditor that, Carolyn, how occupied is your office on the Friday?
I am happy to answer that. So, like I say, I'm not interested in cutting services to the public. And after COVID, the traction, the office business that we get has changed dramatically. We are able to accommodate all recordings electronically. Almost all the title companies have made the conversion to electronic recording, and we have licensing services available through all of our subs. So, like I say, I think we can get this done without cutting services, and I get more complaints because our offices ping pong between one another, and people are purposely coming in early to do things with building and planning just to find that our office is closed. That's been my experience since the other departments went to 4-day work weeks.
Yeah, I suspect you haven't had anybody complain that you're not open on Friday because you are open on Friday. When you close on Friday, you will find another set of complaints.
That could very well be.
Yeah. So do you know approximately how many people show up on a Friday in your office?
Like I say, mostly it's recording that I'm worried about. I'm just not willing to give up that service. And we do that almost entirely electronically with the title companies. People tend to think that we're closed on Fridays already. So we're seeing very light traffic in my office already on Fridays.
Yeah, so I think what you're suggesting, or I infer from what you and Deborah said, was that some of the back office stuff has to happen on Friday anyhow. Is that true?
correct.
Yeah. Therefore, and you're prepared to continue that.
Absolutely, I am, as is Deborah. It would be nice to do it as a trial, just to see where the public lands.
What's the complication with the labor unions in that once you, I think for most employees, it is attractive to have only a 4-day obligation during the week. And taking that back is not going to be easy. Can we do that on a trial?
So right now we are bargained in the contract as 37.5 hours. So what we would do is sign a temporary MOU that can be revoked at any time. So yes, we can change that to a trial basis, but if it's bargained into a contract, then no.
And just to add to that, we have alternative work schedule agreements with all of our employees in the offices that already have 410s, and those can be ended at any time by the employer. So we would be able to do alternative work schedules with individual employees.
Ah, okay. Well, that helps a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Jessica, I am interested in how it has worked in other departments. One of the challenges with working 410s, particularly for families with young children, school-aged children who have after-school activities. Usually parents provide the transportation and the support. Do we have a policy of being flexible with those hours that, you can have comp time or you can work it out, because it should be, family first if we can.
Right, and we do have comp time. I personally haven't heard a lot of negatives from employees that move to 410s, or in the case of a 37.5 hour office, 38 hours. But I would have to speak to each of those individual offices to see if there's been any issues, but overall, I think it's been positive changes for employees.
Yeah, and the employees still have the option to use their comp time or vacation time to leave early on days that they needed to, or for doctor's appointments, whatever. They still have that availability. And from what I've heard from some of the other departments, I mean, they love the four-day work weeks, and I don't think they'd want to go back. But if this was a trial thing, if we did try this, yeah, I would definitely make sure they knew it was a trial. And then the other thing is, some departments that are still open 5 days a week are having alternate work weeks where someone has a Monday off and someone has a Friday. It's just a little bit harder to try to do that. It'd be easier to try to do that if we were, closed, because we wouldn't need as many employees in the office. But if we were open and still try to do that, we have talked about, trying that out. We just haven't really figured it out. Like, how would that schedule look if we were open 5 days a week and we did that alternate work week? It just makes it harder if someone's on vacation or calls in sick or something like that. So just haven't looked into it completely, but that could be an option.
So from just a process, on a Friday after we were on a 4-hour week, this building would be closed. The citizen would walk up and it wouldn't open. Okay.
Closed to the public, but employees or elected officials who want to come in still have that option.
Yes.
From what I understand, City Longview and Kelso are the cities already on that. Somebody told me that.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's the city of Longview, Kelso, and the PUD are all on 4-day work weeks.
I know the city of Longview is because I get aggravated when I go to City Hall on a Friday and it's like,
Yeah.
but in 12 months, I'll get used to it.
Well, it takes our generation a little longer to adapt to that stuff.
Yeah. Now.
Well,
stop.
the fact of the matter is the city manager usually works on Friday, but they would have to answer your phone to get you in.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't get in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I wish you would stop bringing age up again, Mr. Dahl.
Yep. I didn't say anything about being the youngest.
So Carolyn and Deborah, is it your recommendation that we try it?
Yeah, I feel like if we can try it and see how it goes. Like I said, with the other offices in our building being closed, Fridays are a little, slower. They're pretty quiet, although that doesn't mean that the title companies are quieter on Fridays, because they're still processing their documents and we would still be doing that electronically.
Okay.
And Carolyn, you're okay with this?
Yeah, I'm definitely a go for giving it a try. And I would refer to Jessica, but I believe that in the MOU that we craft with the employees, we could even state that up front, that it's going to be a trial period between this date and can be revoked at any time. But it would be nice to see what citizens say and what the general feedback is.
And I understand that there are certain election needs where you would definitely be open on Fridays.
Yeah, like I say, I'm not willing to cut services to the public, so elections, during election times, we're 5 days a week. No, it's not negotiable, and also candidate filing, not negotiable. So that would just mean that elections is open, and I would have to craft the MOU with elections employees, catering to, their specific needs.
Well, I'm sure you'll find Jessica is very creative at working with you on crafting those exceptions.
Well, and for the treasurer's office, with our due dates being April 30th and October 31st, if those type of dates fall on a Friday, we would need to be open as well
Yep.
for those dates.
So Carolyn, can you refresh my memory about your election hours during election season?
Yeah, we set our election hours except for candidate filing week. It's now set at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So I'd already be looking at kind of some staggering of shifts just to not incur overtime. But we're 8:30 to 5 right now. And I would like to keep it that way during elections, just being open. They could do a 4-day work week on off election times, but during elections, I'd want to make sure that we are Monday through Friday.
Okay, thank you. Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's go forward. Mhm.
trial period, I heard anywhere from 6 months to 12 months, so where do you guys want to fall?
I'm okay with a year. I mean, it's difficult when there's the uncertainty of scheduling, so
Yeah,
I'm okay with a year trial.
Well, and when would we want to start this?
That's up to you.
How soon can you adjust all the schedules?
yeah.
The 15th? Is that too soon?
Yeah, it'd be too.
Why, maybe just as suggested, you and Carolyn work with Jessica on a memorandum understanding and then select a date in there and just go with it. That sound fair?
Yes. Yeah, and yeah, there's just a few things we need to talk to our districts.
I
and-
imagine there's an awful lot of vacation schedule already in place that could potentially be affected. So if September 1st is a better start time, I mean, yeah.
I would leave it up to, we're okay right now, but it's not implementable immediately.
Right. Okay,
Yeah, work it out.
All right, we'll work on more details and get with Jessica on that and get that started.
Super.
All right,
Great.
thank
Well,
you.
thank you guys. I appreciate it. I know we have a exec session. Do we have any miscellaneous before that? We're all good? Okay, we have executive session for qualifications of an employee. We're going to start at 15 minutes. Okay.
The board is extending the executive session for a period of 15 minutes until 2:19. The board is extending the executive session for a period of 10 minutes until 2:30 p.m. The board is extending the executive session for a period of 5 minutes until 2:35 p.m. The board is extending the executive session for a period of 5 minutes until 2:41.
Okay, we're back for executive session. No decisions were made. One last call for any miscellaneous. I see no hands. I see nobody. Okay,
Oh, wait, did we assign tons of stuff to Savannah Clement? I'm just checking to see if she's still paying attention.
yeah, you're just trying to get a rise. I know it. Okay, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Thanks, Savannah. Bye-bye.